My brothers and sisters, hello. Welcome back to Soul Talk. I hope you are enjoying your beautiful night, probably, in California, or day, depending on where you are. So I'm about to leave the first place in Greece that I've ever been. I'll be going to Athens with my best friend. And so next time you see me, we will be in a completely different place, right? I'm really trying to do these videos every day because honestly, like I said yesterday, these downloads are happening all the time, and my soul is advancing. And so since I kind of clarified what I've meant about change and letting go of these things that no longer serve us, these parts of ourselves, these old layers, I wanted to share this with you because maybe this will make you feel a bit more accepted and embraced rather than the need to judge yourself, right? So here's our spot that we were at my first video that I made here. It's just as beautiful as ever. So, I hope you can see me all right. So yeah, this thing kind of came to light was that it's not really a matter of us needing to change, okay? So we are all perfectly imperfect, right? And, you know, there is supposed darkness and light within all of us. Darkness is merely the absence of your own light, okay? So the darker parts of yourself is really just the fear, the ego shining through. And the ego is comprised of that little voice inside your head. You know, I said this in my video last night, but in case anybody didn't hear it, the ego is comprised of that false voice, false self, the self that you need to get to know, and the self you think that you know are two different people. The self you need to get to know is the higher self. The self that you think you know, that's the persona, right? And the ego is comprised of fear. And the heart, everything that comes from the heart, well, that's the universal truth. It's the only universal truth that we all really know. So, you know, we thank fear for teaching us what love really looks like, right? And we thank love for being there in fear's absence. So it's not a matter of you needing to change. It's just a matter of your soul advancing in a certain way. So when you let go of these old parts of yourself, your soul is advancing. It's you know, it's no longer at this lower level, you know, or you no longer see yourself at this lower level, and the people around you will no longer see you that way either. So when you raise your vibration to a higher level, when you're no longer at that lower frequency, that lower energetic field, that's when you're able to ascend higher, right? Because the thing that we have to be aware of is that, you know, we'll make a video where we talk about this further, but we are fallen angels. We are energetic beings. We're star seeds. You know, we came from the stars and we descended. And it's very important for us to recognize that we have descended. And in order to ascend again, right, in order to ascend, we have to recognize that we descended into these human vessels. So although you are the light within you it's within this human vessel. It's a temporary little spaceship that allows us to travel from here to there, and you know, the higher dimensions are incredibly important, but this 3D level it serves a purpose, okay? So because we have these physical bodies, we are able to have the senses, right? We're able to touch, we're able to see, we're able to hear, we're able to taste. And these are all very important things because they're reminders in a way of how to get to a higher place, right? So we must realize that we descended. No one wants to think about descension because most of us spiritual beings are just trying to get back home. I understand that, but in order to get there, you must transcend beyond what you think you know, okay? And get to the truth of it. And the truth is only love. So anytime that you speak out of anger, frustration, say things that you don't mean, and that's being thrown at you as well, this has everything to do with fear. Fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough, fear of not being accepted or embraced or loved. And the truth is, I gotta tell you, in order to free yourself, you must realize that you can give that to yourself. You can embrace yourself the way you wish to be embraced. Right? Who really knows how to embrace you in all of that way, except for yourself? And maybe your soul equal. We'll go into different kinds of connectivity later, but the most important thing to see is that we are all one. We're one consciousness, we're one heart, we are one planet, we are one race, the human race, right? And so how do we free ourselves? How do we save humanity? We do it by saving ourselves, right? So in order to free yourself, you have to raise your frequency. You have to raise your thinking into a higher place. So a way to do that is to accept that you don't need to change, you just need to advance. And I want to explain this a little further because maybe in a certain way some people have not understood what I said in my video the other day about needing to let go of things that no longer serve you and giving the spirit what it wants, and how I felt in a certain way differently since I cut my hair or bought a dress. It's not about these material things necessarily. It's not about the outer layer so much. Sometimes the spirit needs to be freed in a way, and by me cutting my hair off, that's what I did. I let go of the old memories, and it just so happens that it happens to look good on me, right? But it's because of the way that it truly made me feel, and I did feel free. I felt free of the past. I felt free of all that energy, the good and the bad that had been soaked up by my hair. Because you got to be able to get to the root of it. And I have nothing to hide behind anymore. And so the hair wasn't serving me, and these certain clothes that I wear, yeah, it's great that I had a funky, different style. But, I pity the individual. They really believe that you are the only one out there like you, and the truth is, although we have, certain seemingly different things about us, we're really all the same. You have kindred spirits for a reason. You got your soul family, and we are one heart tribe, right? The thing that connects us all is the fact that we all want to be loved. So it's not necessarily about the dress, although, I'll be honest, when you recognize the goddess within you, you might want to wear something that, seems representative of what a goddess would wear. Because now I just see myself in the light. I am the light. The light shines within me. The light shines within you. If I love myself, I am loving you. If you love me, you're loving yourself. It's all the same thing. You know, if I free myself, I can free you. If you free yourself, you can free others. You uplift others by empowering them, not by taking power away from them. So, at this time in the world, the most important thing is that we stand up and fight, we unite. You know? We don't have to be separate anymore. That's why I pity the individual. Because that's a lonely place to live. Right? It's very lonely being there. So, do the best that you can to free yourself. I'll tell you certain things that helped me free myself, certain books that I read. A friend asked me that the other day. One of the greatest things is that I was raised around Buddhism. I'm what you call a fortune baby, which means that both of my parents were practicing Nichiren Buddhism, as there are many different types of Buddhism. They were practicing Nichiren Buddhism at the time that I was born. And the amazing thing is that's not even how they met. So from the womb, from inside the womb, I got to know my mother's voice and what she sounded like when she was believing in herself and the rest of the world. Because she chants aloud, and you can feel that vibration from the inside. So I really believe that that has everything to do with why I came out to be such a loving, positive being. Right? Doesn't mean that I didn't still experience difficult times or emotions. I've really been able to learn the last 2 years how to control those things. Not control my emotions, but how to process them, right? So anyways, I was raised around Buddhism, and I was given the opportunity by my mother to believe in whatever I wanted to believe in. I spent time going to church with friends, and, you know, to be honest, I never really felt God there. Angels, maybe, but I feel angels everywhere now. And I feel the spirits everywhere now, so it's not just in one place. This is how spirituality came to be for me. Although I still use this Buddhist practice in my life, and I've seen it to take me this far. I really have. It saved my life. Dedicating myself to my practice saved my life, but it's not the only way to do it. You know, it's a part of it. Certainly is a part of it, and it will answer many questions that you may have. But the thing that I've recognized about organized religion or philosophies, even, because, you know, Buddhism is a philosophy, it's a practice, it's a way of life. Anything like that that's organized, I just feel like there's one little thing that's missing, and that's everything. That's recognizing that you are the universe, you are the world, you are everything in it, you are every tiny little organism, you are every plant, you are every animal, you are everything. Right? And the biggest thing is that you're an angel that came from the heavens, because there's more than one. So, anyways, you know, that helps bring me to a certain point in being open. But the 4 Agreements, that definitely took me to a certain place in my life. I received it from a friend when I was 23 and didn't finish it till I was 26, because I never really read it until I was 26. And when I did, I read it all together, and I underlined every part that meant something to me. And I suggest doing that when you're reading a book. I suggest underlining the parts that resonate with you, so that you can go back later, resonate with it again, or, you know, find that it no longer serves you, or if you pass that book along, you know, maybe it just points out something for the next person. But it was missing one part. And even the author, Don Miguel Ruiz, he said that the mastery of love was part 2, because there was something that 4 Agreements was missing, and it was how to truly love yourself. You know, the 4 Agreements, it's a great book, and I suggest reading it if you haven't yet. But the mastery of love really taught me, like I said, how to love myself, and how to accept real love from others, how to recognize things as unconditional love. And I'm really not going to give it away, guys, because if I did, you wouldn't read it. So I really suggest it. Those 2 books, Well, it changed my life. And I also suggest The Untethered Soul. Really great book another friend gave me, and I'm reading it right now. You know, it talks about that voice inside your head, right? And getting to know that person and realizing they're not the same thing. So anyways, study, research. This is how I got to be the way that I am. It's not just like it happened overnight, you know. And if ever you feel that this is easy, well, at a certain point it gets to feel easier, you know. But to begin with, no, it's not. It's work. It's soul work you're doing, you know. It's soul talk. This isn't just easy, but it is in our nature. It is in our nature. It's all a part of our nature, our human nature. To know more. You know, the knowledge is out there, and knowledge is power, and power comes to those willing to yield it. So, you know, knowledge frees you. So free yourself. Why do you want to be caged? This regular society wasn't built for the individual. If you really believe that you are an individual, it wasn't built for you. So get out there, you know. Travel alone. You want to know how to travel? You let me know. Because you have to be willing to step into it. You have to be willing to let go of everything that you think that you know and realize that there is a whole world out there ready for you to discover yourself through it. So, all of these things being said, this can feel like a lot. It can feel like too much, but try to stay in touch. Right? So, be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Gentle, not dental. Be gentle with yourself, especially with this moon that just passed in Capricorn. In case any of you guys don't know why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, most likely, well, it's because, you know, Capricorn has a lot to do with power, and they want to be able to be seen in a certain way and, you know, do the work, get things done. They're willing to do it. They also like a certain amount of status, so you got to make sure that this gaining and yielding of power is coming from a really good place, you know. Just try to keep those things in mind, alright? Just try to keep your ego in check, okay? You'll suffer ego deaths all the time. There's different things about the ego, but you will suffer ego deaths all the time. I suffered one the other day, and I wouldn't call it suffering. I'd say I was liberated from a part of my ego that didn't serve me. So, you know, be willing to liberate yourself, but be kind to yourself and be kind to others. And if you find that you can't, you know, just don't leave anybody any worse than you found them, right? Do no harm. Do no harm to yourself. And, you know, take yourself out for ice cream, or find a vegan ice cream shop if you're vegan, or a vegan bakery, Whole Foods, or, you know, one of those health food stores that got something. You know, give yourself something sweet, something good to eat, and take yourself out for a movie or just a walk. You know, make yourself laugh, have a dance party by yourself. Do something for you with just you, because you're never really alone. We're all a part of each other, but it's good to be in your own company, right? So anyways, thank you so much for stopping by. I gotta go catch a ferry over to Athens. I hope you have a wonderful day. I see you. I appreciate you. Love, light, and harmony to you on your journey, my friends. Mwah.